I'm back at it again with another A.Rugga reaction. And this time we're reacting to 42. That's not the name of the channel, but that's what he goes by when he starts his videos off. 42. Like, comment, subscribe to 42 and me. The original videos link is going to be in the description. If you want to check his channel out, I understand because I'm subscribed to him anyway, so I understand. Hit the bell button in the top right corner so you'll get notifications every time I upload, so you won't miss out when I upload. Yeah. And yeah, the video is about to start. Oh, the video name is How Important is the Moon? Forgot about that. How important is the moon? I know the moon, it does the titles. It keeps the Earth's orbit so it doesn't like wobble too much. And it stables the tilt so it doesn't turn. And seasons don't mess up. That's what I know about the moon. I know more, but that'll be too long. Maybe another video. And the video is about to start.
Hey, 42 here. It's been almost 50 years since the Illuminati paid NASA $2 million to pay Stanley Kubrick $1 million to fake the moon landings in the Roswell car park in order to ensure the Russians gave up and didn't set up an invaluable cheese factory on the moon. Jokes aside, who even cares about the moon? What's it ever done for us? It's just a big lump of rock that makes dogs bark occasionally and gets in the way of the sun, right? Well, how much influence does the moon actually have on our planet? Would life without it be much different? Let's find out.
Alright, let's go.
The first thing to deal with is how we came to have a moon in the first place. Now, since we haven't kept any of the receipts, we don't have a definite answer. It's possible that the Earth and Moon both just formed simultaneously from the same cluster of space junk about 4.5 billion years ago. But this doesn't explain why the moon contains so little metal compared to Earth. If both objects came from the same junk, they would both consist of the same stuff. Another idea is that it was the matter that was flung out of the Earth's crust by the force of the spinning motion that formed the moon. But we need to have been whizzing around at an incredible rate and it would have made the dinosaurs feel a bit unwell. Or it could have been a wandering object drifting through the galaxy. But then we would have needed a much, much bigger atmosphere in order to slow it down sufficiently to capture it. So, the most likely theory is that a planet about the same size of Mars, which we named Fear, crashed into us. And while some of the mass from this other planet was added to Earth, the debris from this impact stayed in orbit around us and slowly drew together over about a year to form the moon. This happened about 50 million years.
I'm about to say 50 million years ago. What?
And Earth is probably still partly molten at this point.
Not recent, but
have liquefied the entire
Earth's time, yeah, that's recent.
So when it resettled after about a day or so, there would have been no impact crater remaining. It also explains the difference in metal levels between the moon and Earth, since the metal core of Fear would have been drawn into Earth's own core, thanks to its greater mass, whilst the lighter, non-metal parts would have stayed in orbit.
Okay, I understand that. And there's still some other one there.
So, Fear probably increased our spin rate. But if the moon hadn't stayed around, then we would have been stuck with days just 6 or 8 hours long, meaning your average cricket match would take about a month. The moon slows us down by tidal friction. Every time it drags the oceans a few meters up the beach, not only does it spoil the sand vessels, but the friction between the water and the sea saves a tiny fraction off the year. This frictional energy is transferred to the moon because it creates a tidal bulge in the oceans, which runs slightly ahead of the moon, dragging it on behind it. This extra kick makes the moon accelerate whilst it slows us down. We shave off a few milliseconds each year. So, in about 4 million years, the leap year will become unnecessary. As for the moon, it moves away by 3 or more centimeters.
The leap year is what, an extra day, right?
Tides play a far more important role than just creating some friction. Life evolved in the oceans. Given that it's much easier to survive around a warm jet of water than it is on a tiny bit of crusted over lava rock. But as you can see from looking around you, we managed to escape the oceans and get on with the messy business of living all over Earth's dry bits. Sort
It
of
has
like
mass,
eczema.
but it doesn't
The
have that
tides
much
plays two
pulling
important roles in
on
this.
us because we have our own gravity
when life
pulling
was
back on
forming
us.
billions of years ago, the moon was much closer to us, about half the distance it is now. So its gravitational pull would have been 4 times greater, making the tides much bigger. Molecular biologist Richard Lave says that this would have created large low tide areas which were very salty since the sun would evaporate the water, producing an environment that protonucleic acid fragments would have needed to form into molecular strands. In other words, large salty dry bits along the coastline led to more advanced organisms. Secondly,
cool.
after life had done a bit of mating and evolving in the ocean, any aquatic organisms living on the shoreline would often find itself stranded out of the water when the moon dragged the sea away.
A tsunami, it would be
So
like,
it was
what do you
either
call it,
sink
like an
or
ultra
swim.
tsunami?
Well, the opposite,
Super
I
would be
guess.
too small
Asphyxiate
for it.
or
Ultra, maybe?
Shore life
Mega.
had to adapt to its new 50-50
tsunami.
life in and out of water. And soon
Back
there
then,
were
it'd be called a mega
organisms that
tsunami.
could manage
How
without
big
the
them waves would
ocean
have been.
entirely. We'd still have tides without the moon, thanks to the pull of the sun, but they'd be well under half of what they are now. It's actually the combined pull of the sun and moon that creates the spring tides. So without the moon creating exceptionally strong tides, it's unlikely that evolution would have happened this fast, and we probably wouldn't be here.
So evolution would have been
This
like
sun and
a
moon
lot
team
slower.
is also important for night vision. The moon may only be 1 in 400,000 times as bright
Damn,
as the sun.
it's still bright
but
enough.
that tiny amount of light that it does reflect is itself thousands and thousands of times stronger than anything else in the sky. If you go out into the countryside on a moonless night, you'll realise just how little you can see without that giant lunar reflection.
Like a
You'll
big ass
also probably
flashlight.
get eaten by bears because the countryside is just awful and full of bears and snakes. So with much darker night, it's likely that
Bears
many
are ugly.
nocturnal creatures
No.
would have evolved much differently,
Maybe.
like relying on other senses such as hearing. That's not to say that there would be no night vision though. Some species, such as the elephant hawk moth, are so well adapted to seeing in darkness that they can see colour.
What the fuck?
For humans, when it's less than half moonlight, the cones in our eyes don't have enough photons to work with, so we only use the rods, which can't sense any colour, and we only see black and white. Without the moon's assistance, we
They
probably
see
would have
so
been very
good in the
vulnerable
dark,
once
you
the
can see
sun went
color.
down.
God damn, that's crazy.
The final major impact that the moon has had on us is the tilt of Earth's axis. Mars currently has a tilt similar to ours, about 24 degrees from the sun.
We move
But
too much.
Unlike ours, Mars' axis can vary
Move way
a
too
great
much.
deal, sometimes going down to 15 and up to
Damn.
35 degrees at times. Earth would do the same if it weren't for the stabilizing effect of the moon. This change in tilt
Seasons
would
too
be an
much.
ecological nightmare, since it would wildly vary the seasons. Imagine having 3 years of continuous winter. Oh, that actually sounds like normal life in the north of England, minus all the White Walkers, of course. Thanks for the view. Subscribe for more.
You learn.
For this
Just
lake
watch.
bed is littered with...
If you watch 42, you'll learn something, honestly. Yeah, you'll learn a lot. I guess that's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe to me and 42. Make sure you get everything right. The original video's link is in the description if you want to watch that without me talking over it. So, yeah, do what you gotta do. Hit that reminder button so you can get my notification every time I upload. And if you like my reaction or not, give me suggestions on videos what to watch. So, yeah. And my gone.